Okay, for number 29, I'm going to go to the whiteboard to do it. So let me go to the whiteboard, and let's see what we got here. Certainly, I'm going to write it down. And by that writing it down, I'm going to write down, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. That's going to be x to the 3 halves minus 4x to the 3 quarters. That's going to be minus 5. It's going to be plus x, 6, x to the minus 3 quarters. And then what do you get? You get 2x minus 3 quarters. And then you can get plus x to the minus 3 halves minus 3 x to the minus 9 quarters. All right, let's take a look, make sure I copy it right. X to the 3 halves minus 4x to the 3 quarters minus 5 plus 6 x to the minus 3 quarters 2x to the minus 3 quarters plus x to the minus 3 halves minus 3 x to the minus 9 quarters. And what I'm going to do is distribute one term at a time. And let me just explain that, what I mean by that. I'll be taking this term here, and I'm going to distribute it across those 3 terms one at a time. All right? Let's do that. And we're going to get this. We're going to get 2x. Now, we're going to take minus 3 quarters. Let me write this down for you. I'm going to erase it too. Minus 3 quarters plus 3 halves. Well, certainly quarters. We get minus 3 plus 6, which would be 3 quarters. All right, let me get the eraser out. And I'm going to go to the next term. And what are you going to get there? Well, you're going to get x to the 0, which can be plus 1. What do you get next? Minus 3x. And then we're going to do a minus 9 quarters plus 3 halves, which is 6 quarters. That will be minus 3 quarters. All right, that's done. Get my eraser out. Erase this stuff over here. Now what I'm going to do? Well, I'm going to take the next term, which is this, and do the multiplication now. What do you get there? Let's write this down carefully. You get minus 8, x to the 0, so that's gone, minus 4, x, what do you get? 3 quarters, minus 3 halves, which is 6 quarters, so you get minus 3 quarters. Get my eraser out, get rid of the baby arithmetic. Let's keep going. Then what are you going to get? Plus 12, x, and again, remind you what you're doing, 3 quarters minus 9 quarters is minus 6 quarters. All right, that's done. Let's go to the next one. And let's get our highlighter out. And we're going to do the minus 5. Whoops. All right, let's do it. What do you get? Minus 10, x to the minus 3 quarters. Minus 5, x to the minus 3 halves. Plus 15, x to the minus 9 quarters. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see, we're going to do this one now. Let's see what you get there. Plus 12, x to the minus 6 quarters, plus 6, x, let me remind you what you were doing, minus 3 quarters, minus 3 halves, which is minus 6 quarters. Whoops, sorry about that. Let me get my eraser out. I got too high in the paper. I said minus 3 quarters, and then you're going to get minus 3 halves, which is 6 quarters. So it's going to be minus 9 quarters. All right, let's keep going. And then what do you get there? You get minus 18. And then you're going to get x. Well, let's see, minus 3 minus 9 is minus 12 quarters. All right. These are problematic problems, and what I'm going to do now is just look around for terms that are like each other. All right, I'm going to concentrate on one term at a time, the 3/4. Are there other terms with a 3/4 in it? And you look around, and I hope you realize there's no other term with a 3/4 in it. What I mean by that, the exponent to be 3/4. All right, I see no other exponent with a 3/4 in it. So I'm going to write that down now, and that's been accounted for. The next thing I see is a constant. Whoops. I'm just looking for constants. All right, so I see the two constants. What do I see? That will be -7. All right, go to the next term, which are the -3/4. I think I got them all. All right? What do you get there? -3 minus 4. That's -7. -10 is -17. All right, let's go to the next guy. I got this one. Whoops. -6/4. All right, what do you get there? Well, looking at it, you get 12 and 12 is 24. I'll write that down now. Let's keep going. You know what? I just noticed something. I want to just tell you what I noticed over here. I'm going to get my eraser out. And -3/2 is actually -6/4. I really should have everything in terms of quarters, by the way. Anyway, let's do that. I apologize for that. And what would that give you? Well, that's going to give you another, let's see, 12 to us 24, so 19. I have to erase something now, this over here. And then get my red marker out and highlight this one over here. Again, 12 to 12 is 24, -5 is 19. Now let's do the next one. It get a little bit easier because things have been accounted for. So you can get 21 x to the -9/4. That's this one, and then you get -18 x to the -12/4. Right, I'm going to write a little differently. By the way, it's a fine answer, if it's correct, that is. I'm just going to write it a little differently. And I'm going to write it as 2x to the 3/4 -7 -17 over x to the 3/4 plus 19. That's going to be x to the 3/2 on the bottom, plus 21. That's going to be x to the 9/4 on bottom. And then I get -18. And -12/4 is -3, so x cubed on the bottom. All right, that took a while to get through. I know it's frustrating sometimes, especially when you make mistakes. And I'm not beyond making mistakes. What you should do, though, is look at the answer key. And as I look at the answer key, I just want to look at it. I do see 2x to the 3/4 there. Whoops. I see that. The next term I see is -17 over x to the 3/4. I see that. Then I see 19 over x to the 3/2. I see that. Next thing I see is 21 over x to the 9/4. I see that. The next thing I see is -18 over x cubed. I see that. And the last thing I see is -7. And we did okay. Now, someone says, well, they rearranged it differently. Yeah, you can do that. Certainly the constant probably does belong in the end. Thank you.